Hey everybody, welcome back to another installment of Memes of the Week. Remember to support these videos at the sponsor link in the description, as I'm basically making them for free, and appreciate any support I can get right now. At the very least, give this video a like or subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Now on with the show. Number 1, we have a woman that married herself, and she proves that many women can't even remain married to themselves these days. My tip is to avoid all attachment to women, even if you are a woman. But we know that she really married herself for the pension. Just kidding. It's clear she's just looking for attention because we live in an attention-based economy. And it was also a slow news day at The Independent, it seems. Next up, we have Cindy, and she's asking everyone what they would eat first, her or a pizza. Philo said her because clearly that's what she wants to hear, calling her all kinds of bad words, it seems. If I was there while they were arguing, I'd sneak in and run out of there with the pizza before she noticed. But we all know that only God can judge her behavior. Well, it looks like he has. Number 3, we have an oldie but a goodie. Women always claim that men are oppressing them, but oftentimes it's just projection. They want men to apologize for something we didn't do, because then they don't have to apologize for actual oppression. I died when I saw this response below it. Using memes from my favorite Star Wars character, Admiral Piet, to answer this was epic. Moving on, we have AI generating anything you want these days, including bodybuilding Asian grannies in bikinis. One woman in the comment section mentions that she commends their extreme discipline and musculature without even realizing that they're actually AI generated. But the overwhelming consensus from many of you guys is that you would still smash. Up next is the first entry from Greta, How Dare You Thunberg, with Clint Eastwood and that actor from the 1980s Titanic special. What's his name? I think it's Savalas or something. They, of course, are pretending to play soldiers, while Greta's also pretending to play environmentalist. Eastwood didn't play if you listen to his survival story after a crash landing in a plane. Number 6, we have the sad state of affairs in Scotland, where as a man you could go to prison for up to 7 years if you loudly discuss your sexual conquests at a pub with your buddies. The law hasn't passed yet, but it's one of a number that are actually all about criminalizing male behavior. Where's Braveheart when you need him? Probably putting on a dress as to not piss off the man haters out there. Number 7 are the 4 women on the investment committee at Silicon Valley Bank. That's a first for the industry, and it was the first bank to go bust in 2023. What do you think happens when you prioritize alphabet people events at your company for Pride Month the way that the head risk assessment officer at the company did before the bank collapsed? Go woke, go broke. Next is an example of cognitive dissonance at its best. The author Owen Jones says that the alphabet people and Muslims need to stand together and not fight one another. But if some Muslims have their way, many unfortunate gay males won't be able to stand after they get thrown off a roof. What part of incompatible ideologies don't you understand? Number 9 is a woman that believes that she needs feminism so that men shouldn't be able to disagree with her. When you can't win in a war for ideas, then you use woke feminism to shut your opponents up by calling them evil patriarchs. Moving on, we have a woman that doesn't understand how hotel mirrors work. She's trying to make it look like her man is putting the old Andre the Giant chokehold on her. For me, all I see is the world's most famous Austrian wearing a wig. She's either very funny and doing this intentionally, or remarkably stupid. Number 11, we have a woman that claims that the rapper Fredo wanted to fly her out and spend 15,000 pounds on her in Greece. He might have to buy 2 airplane seats to fly her out. If he really did want to fly her out, then he probably has some sort of BBW fetish. Everything was all set, but the Antonov AN-225 was sadly destroyed in Kiev. Damn you, Putin. Now she's going to have to settle for poutine instead. Up next, you have a New York Post article discussing the trad wife trend on TikTok, with women putting on dresses and pretending that it's the 1950s again, as stay-at-home moms and homemakers. The left is absolutely losing their minds, saying this is about white supremacy. But the women living the trad wife lifestyle are afraid that feminism is going to make most men go their own way. So pretending to be submissive in the kitchen is nothing but a sign of desperation. Number 3 is Greta Downey Thunberg, deleting her 2018 tweet saying that the world would end in 2023. She looks like she needs to stay away from all that cricket stew. Looks like she's packing on those pounds. Also, someone in the comment section says she's starting to look like the baby dinosaur from the Dinosaurs TV show from the early 90s. Yeah, I don't really see the resemblance. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Number 14 looks like the US Marine Corps is getting weaker and woker. I can't wait for the day when camouflage becomes offensive. Then the enemy, of course, will get a much cleaner shot. Sir is from the Latin word senior, which means elder or older, and works in both female and masculine genders. So in a way, it's already gender neutral. Next up, we have a woman that monkey branched away from her husband because he was boring in bed. She got together with another guy that's supposedly not making the effort. So what can she do? She probably wants us to see her as the victim, even though she wrecked her first relationship, and will probably wreck the second one as well. Guys need to get back at women like this by playing games like this guy did that wrecked his ex-wife's next marriage on her wedding day, after she cheated on him. Number 16, we have an overweight white woman that's rejecting white dudes and many Hispanics. She will say yes to black men, though. I think that she really wants the white guys, but they just use her once or twice for target practice and throw her back to where she came from. She's basically saying to white guys, you can't say no to me, because I say no to you first. Moving on, we have a woman with used zinc socks around her waist to symbolize her sexual activity. All those guys' names you have to multiply by 10. The thing you have to remember is that she probably wasn't using condoms with most of the men that she was with. Now you're going to marry her, and you'll never know how many have come before you. No pun intended. Number 18, if you want to know why women like her are having so much sex, then all you have to do is look at this article that says women are now binge drinking more than men for the first time in history. It's easy to binge drink when you're not buying your own drinks, ladies. Besides cat food stocks, I've been saying for the longest time to invest in boxed wine. Now you see why. Next up, we have a lady that snuggled a 13-year-old boy and got preggers with his baby. But she won't be facing any jail time because of her pregnancy. Meanwhile, the 13-year-old guy will probably be on the hook for child support for a child that he didn't even want. This is the face of baby rabies. Look at it and study it. Number 20, besides hitting the milestone of being bigger binge drinkers than men, they've also become bigger and more of them are obese. Between this and binge drinking, I'm also hopeful that the gender lifespan gap will soon be closed. Some people are saying that that number is a lot higher. By 2030, it'll probably be 60 to 65% of all women in America obese or severely obese. Up next is Finster, drag maxer extraordinaire. All he had to do was put on women's clothing and makeup and go on YouTube. And now he has Belle Delphine in his bed. I love it when a plan comes together. You're going to see more of this sort of behavior soon. Why work out and go to the gym when you can put on satin jammies and sweet talk simps out of greenbacks on YouTube? Number 22, this is what happens when disaster strikes. All of the feminists disappear. In 2013, when I first went my own way, there was a major snowstorm, and I saw that women stayed indoors while the men were outside fixing the infrastructure. It was one of the biggest red pill moments of my life. Number 23, we have a lady that spent all day getting ready for her date, and when he arrived and gave her flowers, the first thing she did was blow out the candles that she had set up. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. The guy was nice enough, too, to hold her hair back while she was blowing them out. Greta is back again in this one, and this time she's channeling the energy of Sam Kinison. I don't know what's up with all these posts of her getting old and fat recently. Maybe some time traveler sent them back from the future to scare us or something. Moving on, which of these two would you actually choose to save? I'd save the donkey because he's probably more loyal than the woman. It's moments like this where you have to ask yourself, what would Shrek do? Here's a picture of you riding away after choosing the donkey. Smart move. Number 26 is a woman that left her husband because she went on vacation and realized she didn't miss him. Then she lost 70 pounds and met a new man. Looks like her husband was the one that lucked out, though, because he lost a fat, lazy, and uncommitted wife. Next up is a woman that's really complaining that her husband is making time in his life for interests other than her, that her husband never knows why she's upset. Odds are he doesn't care. It's all a shit test. If he starts getting involved with her, then it shows he doesn't have anything going for him other than her. And then she'll leave him if he spends his time talking to her to see why she's upset. We end this week's video with the Teleslutties. Not sure why they're dressed like this, but at least now we can see Tinky Winky's Dipsy and Dipsy's Lala, whatever the hell that's supposed to mean. Admit it though, some of you would still smash. So that's it for another Memes of the Week. Remember, once again, I make these videos for free, so donate to my PayPal or Subscribestar links for more content like this. Enjoy the rest of your day, and cheers.